What do you think just about the defensive activity? A lot of guys getting in on blocks and steals. Did that kind of pass the eye test too?
I thought when our activity was up to the level and matched our discipline, we did a really, really good job defensively. They test you quite a bit just in terms of the way they play side to side and the multiple actions happen at once. And I thought we did a good job specifically coming out of halftime in that third quarter of being disciplined and connected while also having some activity. And I think that showed itself obviously with the steals and the blocks.
I think we all kind of knew it was coming eventually, but what was it like to see Carter find a little bit of confidence, dunking, shooting, all the above?
Yeah, it gets to the point where you kind of just you chuckle because it's not a matter of if, just when. He's very talented. He's been great. He has a good approach. Had a crazy stretch of missed dunks for a guy that can dunk the ball pretty easy, and so the game slows down. That's a real saying in my opinion in terms of especially for rookies, and he's putting his energy into the right spots, and it was nice to have a few things go his way tonight.
Carter took a lot of ribbing from the guys about the missed dunks and seemed to do it with good humor. Like, does that say anything to you about him and his makeup, that he can kind of take that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and what else you gonna do? Like, yeah, we all have moments where we wish we would have done something else or could have finished a play and whatnot. And again, if it may be a little bit more sensitivity or insecurity if he was a questionable dunker. Yeah. I think that we've seen enough that, we knew it would be okay. But yeah, again, it was just he forget the scoring and the dunks and the box score. He played a really, really solid game tonight, just in terms of the starting spots defensively, keeping it simple offensively, and keeping it simple is still very impactful. Offensive rebounding, spacing, A to B plays, whether it's catch, shot, drive, C2, get off it, and he did a good job of that.
Assuming it's not a coincidence that Victor's taken more threes at a time when you guys have needed more threes, is that something that he took upon himself, or is that something you encouraged him to do, to look at that part of his game more?
Definitely more on him. I mean, we've talked about him taking threes before the season started, and he wasn't taking many when the season started. And so it wasn't us telling him to not shoot them and now, hey, shoot them. He has so many tools or weapons that we talk about. It's everybody always wants to see him all the time. And so when he shoots so many threes, they want him around the rim. And then when he's around the rim, why doesn't he shoot threes? He's not getting enough free throws. And so it's just a balance, and he's going to continue to find that balance. And he's a great shooter, and sometimes it's going to be predicated on how the defense is guarding him, who's guarding him, what's the game calling upon. And obviously tonight he got it going, and we're not surprised when he makes threes.
Great game today for your scoring. How do you see him coming out of that little bit of a slump that he had recently? It's kind of seen a spike of late.
I think it's probably just percentages even out. When you saw him, when we all saw him play at the start of the year, felt like he'd been in the league for 7 years, and he hit a rough patch, and everybody wants to know what's wrong with him. And so I think to give him some grace on having whatever people want to allude to as a rough patch is fine. But yeah, it's a long season, and not everyone can be as efficient as we want to be throughout the season. And I think, again, continue to make plays off the ball for his teammates, get into the mix, rebounding and some of those things. The scoring is very natural for him. And so to continue to put the energy into all the other areas, the ball will find him, and he will find the bottom of the net because he's a natural scorer. And I think just to continue to put his energy into the other stuff. And when we do that, typically your teammates help you in that regard also in terms of scoring and getting the ball to you in the right spots. And I thought we've done a good job of that lately.
How in your mind even going back to his calf strain, it's been sort of a build-up for Victor physically and all that, and even dealing with some knee bumps and some bruises along the way. How has he looked physically to you? It seems like the last couple of games especially, he's been extra productive with the minutes he's been getting.
I think he's looked phenomenal. I think he's probably starting to catch a stride a little bit with the consistent fitness level. That's just from an ignorant eye test. I have nothing to quantify that, but I do agree. It feels like he's starting to get into a rhythm and be able to play through that first 3-minute stretch or so when the game gets like this. And sometimes we've seen him where he looks a little fatigued. I think it's just a natural progression of when you've been out for a while. It takes a while to get back into it to the level of these guys that play major minutes.
Going back to the Harrison right in. Thank you.